Subscribe for more.
I never planned to tell this story out loud, because saying it makes it real in a way I've tried to avoid. But silence has a way of rotting things from the inside, and I've learned that pretending nothing happened doesn't make the damage disappear. My name is Evelyn. I'm 38, and I cheated on the man who trusted me with his entire life. I met Thomas 11 years ago at a friend's housewarming in Brighton. He was quiet, observant, the kind of man who listened more than he spoke. I remember thinking he felt safe. Not boring, not weak, just steady. The kind of steady you don't notice until it's gone. He worked in logistics, nothing glamorous, but he was reliable. Always showed up, always followed through. I liked that more than I admitted. Our life together looked ordinary from the outside. A small terrace house, shared routines, predictable weekends. He made coffee every morning. I handled dinners. We talked about work, money, plans that always seemed just far enough away to delay. There were no screaming fights, no broken plates, no obvious cracks, just a slow quietness that crept in and made itself at home. Somewhere along the way, I started feeling invisible, not mistreated, not abused, just unseen. Thomas still did everything right, which somehow made it harder to explain what felt wrong. He didn't cheat. He didn't lie. He didn't disappear. He was there, physically and practically, but emotionally it felt like we were speaking different languages and pretending we understood each other. I didn't wake up one day wanting to betray him. It happened in smaller moments. A conversation that lingered too long. A laugh that felt warmer than it should have. His name was Callum, a colleague from a training seminar in Manchester. Confident, attentive, curious about me in a way that felt intoxicating. He asked questions. He noticed details. He made me feel interesting again. I told myself it was harmless. Just talking, just enjoying the attention. I didn't come home and announce I was unhappy. I didn't ask Thomas for anything different. I convinced myself I deserved a small escape from a life that felt too quiet. That lie was the first real betrayal. The night it happened wasn't dramatic. A hotel bar, too much wine, a sense of inevitability. I didn't stop. I crossed a line and then another, and once it was done, the rush faded faster than I expected. What remained was a heavy, nauseating guilt that followed me home like a shadow. Thomas knew something was wrong before I ever said a word. He always did. I grew distant, overcompensated, avoided his eyes. The truth pressed on me until it became unbearable. One Sunday evening, sitting across from him at the kitchen table, I told him everything. No excuses, no softened language, just the facts. I expected anger, shouting, accusations. What I got was worse. He went very still, like all the air had left the room. He asked a few questions, quietly, carefully, as if each one cost him something. How long? Who? Why? I answered, watching his face change in real time. Then he broke, not loudly, not violently. He put his head in his hands and cried in a way I had never seen before. Deep, uneven sobs that sounded like grief. He kept saying he didn't understand what he'd done wrong, that he thought being consistent, being loyal, being there was enough. Hearing that shattered something inside me. In that moment, I saw what I had destroyed. Not just our relationship, but his sense of worth. The man who never raised his voice, who carried responsibility without complaint, was sitting in front of me completely undone. And I was the reason. He didn't beg me to stay. He didn't insult me. He simply stood up, said he needed space, and went to stay with his brother in Leeds. That calm departure felt like a verdict. Final, heavy, unavoidable. The days after were unbearable. The house felt hollow. Every routine mocked me. I replayed that moment over and over, wishing I could take it back, knowing I couldn't. I realized too late that the quiet I resented had been peace, and I'd traded it for chaos. Thomas eventually returned to collect his things. He was polite, distant, already gone in ways I couldn't reach. He told me he didn't hate me, but he couldn't look at me the same way again. Trust, once broken, didn't regenerate. It just scarred. I didn't lose him because I was unhappy. I lost him because I chose a moment of validation over years of devotion. Watching him fall apart forced me to confront the reality of my actions without the comfort of denial. People talk about cheating like it's about desire or boredom or curiosity. They don't talk enough about the aftermath, the quiet devastation, the way it lingers long after the excitement is gone. I live with that now. I didn't just hurt Thomas. I changed him. And that knowledge will stay with me longer than any fleeting attention ever could.